Hey everybody, happy afternoon. Did this thing publish? It looks like it did. Cool. Then we're just good to go. So yeah, I am a little bit late from when I normally would start. I mentioned this earlier this morning that I had a thing I needed to go to, and I'm back from that thing. So it should be a normal stream now, probably about 3 hours. I will do these things off stream at some point. I want to figure out what exactly we're working on. And it's probably just going to be random stuff. This thing about balance and healing, maybe I'll just write it in GitHub. I want to get some of these things off of my list. Balance. Add a balance simulator. Surface game stats to the player through the guild. You know what'd be kind of cool is like damage done by each. Other stats that may be nice to have. Healing done per character. Damage done per character. Number of battles / wins / losses for each character, etc. I just think there'd be a lot of interesting stats, but that's not actually what I wanted to talk about here. What I wanted to talk about was in this maybe balance questions look out for from a player perspective. How does healing feel? E.g., the way that the cleric has been designed as of today, at least, is that it deals damage when it heals. Perhaps the healing to damage ratio should be shifted so that it heals for a small amount and deals much more damage as a result. That pivots the class to being more of a damage dealer and less of a healer. Actually, that's something I've not ever designed. All abilities in this game have mods, and all mods are pure upside. But what if there were trade-off mods? Like, what if you said, like, plus 10% healing, minus 10% damage, versus plus 10% damage, minus 10% healing? So this is, there's not one that's clearly better than the other one. It depends on what you value. I don't know if we should do that. And that would take ability points, I guess. So maybe there's, I'll just write this down as an idea. Hey, Broken Crown. I see that's a very cheap hello, which is to not say it at all. But certainly not to spend any points doing it. Well, let's write this down. Consider having trade-off. Well, mods that are trade-offs. Maybe they don't even cost points. The first example that came to mind would be for the cleric. There could be a choice of more damage and less healing versus less damage and more healing. Oh no, all is well now. You've spent your hard-earned points. Cool. I'm happy with that. Allow for groups of enemies. Yeah, let's file this in here. I don't know where we put this. Make enemies. Is this... Make some enemy characters that can be generated. This generally means manifesting something like all item data for enemies. Giving basic. 2 to 3 enemies are somewhat different. Yeah. This is... How do I edit this? This is namely... Use the new enemies and in different groups / compositions. Cool. Idle animations for adventurers. Yeah, I think I need to talk to Quickie Joe about this. Tell Quickie Joe that I think we will need idle animations for battles. Not sure if it'll look strange at all. We would just need a side-facing one. Figuring out what we're doing for checkpoint number 2. I'd love to have quests, but they need to be meaningful enough. What tasks do we have left for this? Make sure we're turning the right item. Keep track of which quests were done. Upgrade shop button still works and is enabled even at max level. And then permanent rewards. Yeah, I feel like at some point we're going to need to actually make the quests. Yeah. I guess I'll write that down. Make some actual quests that are balanced correctly. And then change the cost of upgrading shops such that quests are kept in mind. Then again, such a quest rewards are kept in mind, since it's like a delayed purchase of power. Hey, unemployed QA. Both first and the expensive hello. 1-2 punch of greeting people in the stream. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I think quests should be in the game. In fact, I wrote it, well, should be in the game. I think it should be in the game for checkpoint number 2. This should say somewhere between 5 to 6 total. It's because we're partially done here. We added 1. So now we have a total of 4. So we need to add 1 to 2 more. Quests, battle effects, game resolution. I should probably do this. Yeah, I should probably do this. Yeah, okay. Well, before we get to the quest stuff, because that's probably what I'm going to tackle next, let me take a look at whether we have something that talks about this. Level condition check. Later used to prevent further upgrades when we reach the maximum. Yeah, I think I need to incorporate this. Weeks ago. I never answered this today. Oh, man. I've invested. I should add a second. It costs even more. Is this ready to be checked in, I wonder? Button gets disabled correctly. The X button is placed at the beginning of the containers when you accept a quest. Change layout, move the button somewhere else completely. Change the size. I think I need to merge this. Are there any conflicts here? No. Although I'm still not totally sure. Let's see, current level. Did I address some of this code? Yeah, update current level correctly for shop. What did I do for this? Oh, I see. Oh, man. Okay, let's keep looking at this. Max number of item displays is just a thing about level now. Has reached max level. Option 1 visible. I think we should just set this to be disabled. I might try that out. Yeah, let's go try that. So first, I think we need to push, and that's why we might not have had any problems here. Get push. Can I delete this stuff? What is this? This grants me a bunch of money and stuff, and this lets me go to different battles. Yeah, let's just revert this. I don't need those. HPR list. Okay. Discard local changes. Hit the play button. There's so much stuff to do. Oh man, it's been a long time since the game looked like this. All right, grant money, upgrade shop. So this gives us... Oh, there's no quick way to upgrade shops, huh? So we just had to click this a bunch of times. Then the button will just go away completely. Yeah, I think we should change it to be that the button just gets disabled. And that is there in shopkeep visible. Dialog 1. I think we just set enabled or disabled. Disabled. Disabled equals true. Yeah. Let's try that. It'll probably not be super clear what's going on. Oh man, I should probably have started this at a higher level. So I had to click like 20 buttons now. There we go. Yeah, it just says option 1. So option 1 should still have the same text, but it should probably say like at max. I feel like that's a little bit better to do there. Then I also think we should invert these if statements. Yeah. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to test this, but I think this will be pretty good. And that way we don't have that question of what are we doing, we're at the maximum. Hey, deadbeat. There, yeah. So now you can see that this is where that button would have gone, and you can't click it anymore. So that when you have a quest, it's just upgrade shop, and you can't actually do it anymore. Same thing happens when you go to hire adventurer. It says at max. I think same thing with leveling up. Yeah, although it's in lowercase because we can put it in lowercase. There. So I think I want to do that, and I think that bypasses some of this problem. Storeroom is already at max level. Why would that show up? There's no easier way to upgrade this, is there? I have to press the button a bunch of times. Oh, because the button doesn't get disabled? We should just disable the button. Yeah. Okay, let's check this one thing in, but let's also disable the button. Merge 151, make sure to disable the upgrade storeroom button if at max level. What changed here? I don't think we're keeping that. I think I'm just going to check this in. Disable button, upgrade shop button at max level. I think this is better than hiding the button so that the UI doesn't look strange when you don't have any upgrades remaining and you are already on a quest. Okay. Something else I wrote about this for quests. Oh yeah, it's at the bottom of this list. This, I'm not totally sold on quests. All right, let's put this up here. Next thing I wanted to change is that the town has the upgrade storeroom button. Where is this? Oh, it's in town menu, I think. Upgrade storeroom. Here it is. And there should be some like update the, yeah, here it is. This. When you're at the maximum level, why don't we just do something about that? Yeah. So let's do pretty much the exact same thing. In fact, does it know? Where's storeroom level stored? In here? Level. Current level. There it is. Yeah. And I think we have this here, town.storeroom. No, we don't because it's a private variable. Yeah, it's private. We could make it public. We could just make the storeroom level public. I'm going to just make the storeroom level public for now. Storeroom level. An event should not follow that. Okay. Where did my code change go? There it is. So if storeroom level is greater than or equal to max, then set the button to disabled and set that it's at max. Otherwise, Do that. Done. Now we only have the problem of having to click that button 62 times. Upgrade storeroom. I could have done this in a simpler way, but whatever. All right, there we go. Yeah, so now it says it's at max. Now we don't need that arrow to print out, although it's not bad to have it. Looks good. So check this in. Disable upgrade storeroom button at max level. This should prevent the need for, where art thou code? This. Storeroom has reached max level. Try upgrade shop. This is not in a try something though, right? Yeah. Error message. But it's fine to still have that in case there's another way to upgrade the storeroom in the future. Yeah, I'll just say, but I haven't deleted that. Just in case it's needed. Hey, Nuka. You're closing in on your launch date, right? Because I was going to say, you mentioned it was going to be a couple weeks from a couple weeks ago, I thought. Although maybe I'm the one bumping that up. Adding pressure. What's the game style called? It's like 2D, but not a side scroller. There's another term for it. I would say like top-down 2D, maybe. Sort of like the same as a Zelda game. Like Zelda 2D, top-down. I don't know if this is going to actually... Yeah, I'd consider it a top-down game. Yeah. Now this stuff we need to push to the right place. I think if we go to push through here, it'll ask where I want to push it to. But there was a button that definitely let me do that. Let's just try and hope that it opens that up. Push. No. No. Oh, man. I didn't want to do that. I shouldn't have done that. Where'd that go? Did it push to here somehow? Oh, it did. I wonder if it just knows. Okay, well now I think we can squash and merge this. I think that for now it's easiest to just disable the upgrade shop button when you're at the maximum level, since it makes it obvious that there was an action, but that you can no longer perform it. And two, it's what we do with the other buttons in the game so far. I've done this in a commit that should show above this comment. Squash and merge. Okay, so that's done. Now that's merged. Now we switch back to main. Changes. Not anymore. Hey, Warner. There was someone earlier named James Warner who rated me, and I was like, is that Warner? It was not. But it wasn't clear to me until just now. No, I'm pretty sure. I was pretty sure that you were different people. But yeah, how are you doing? I hadn't been online for a while because I was on vacation, and then I was very sick. Although I guess you were last here in January, so never mind. Yeah, we've started working on a game since then. Yeah, in fact, 3 months is roughly how long it took to start working on the game. You were also working on a game, right? This game is... I'm just trying to pull the code so I can show you. This game is called Skeleseller. And I've got a little FAQ there, but I mean, this is the actual... Wait, something's wrong. Uh-oh. Oh, man, hang on a second. This should not have been checked in. Oh, darn it. How did that end up there? Did I do that? Oh man, I was explicitly trying not to check this in. Oh, I forgot that I had that. Okay, fine. Well, whoops. Let me get rid of this and then check this in. Undo. What is this? This is a UID getting deleted. I don't know why, and I don't really care right now. And let's just discard and close everything and hope that doesn't come back. All right, so undo the granting of a bunch of free stuff. I accidentally checked this in earlier. Okay, so the game is called Skeleseller, and you hire adventurers to do battle. So here I've got my rogue fighting this bat. Battles take place automatically, so there's no plan for you to be controlling these characters. And then when you win the battles, you'll get items from them, and your characters will go and restock your shops. So you see my adventurer walking over there, and then my character walking over there. And when the items are in the shops, then customers can come by and purchase them. And you use the money to hire new adventurers, to upgrade your adventurers. So, and eventually get into, higher level battles. And you can have multiple battles going at once. So yeah, you have a bunch of skill points and stuff you can put in. And that's the general game concept. Hey, Sir Puffin. Like 4 hours a month? Oh man, what have you been busy with? I'm guessing just general life stuff, but I guess what I'm asking about is what is general life stuff? You can see the battle with the healer is going... Actually, it's not really going better. I guess these won and moved on to stage 2. These are just not dying. But they probably will die pretty soon. Yeah, they're going to die. Some nice progress in 3 months. Well, actually, one of the months was spent making the prototype of the game, which was this, which has been fully abandoned because we realized it wouldn't really work. But this had like a character select screen and everything. This had manual movement, so you actually walked around the world, and then you got in battles, and there was actually manual control as well at first. So you'd pick which ability you want to use, and then you'd also level up, but you would automate your characters kind of more slowly through that. And this was just battling. There was no selling or anything. So what we learned by doing this was it's not enough to just have the battling in the game. You need more than that. But yeah, it's been going pretty well, and it's not just me working on it. Credits of the game are there. Okay, so we've gotten ourselves into a good state in that there is no longer a pull request open, and I think we can work on quest tasks. However, before we work on quest tasks, I think there is a problem, and it's this. Not totally sold on how we plan to service quests. You're essentially picking rewards ahead of time, which is, I guess, how quests work. But those rewards are randomized. Perhaps each NPC should just have a quest list available, and you can choose which one you want to start. Yeah, so here is the current system is a shopkeep will propose 2 random quests. And the proposal is, what if a shopkeep gives you a list of available quests and you can pick them? Pick from the list. How is this different though? It's just more options than 2, right? But I think as you level up, the list will add options to it that have better rewards. I'm not sure. Hi, Kryptonic. Welcome to the stream. I don't know, and honestly, I probably shouldn't be trying to change this ahead of time. Maybe we'll just see how it goes. But as an example of what the quests would be, they're all simple. I mean, the game's about collecting and selling items, so they're about collecting items. But it might be like, quest number 1 might be something like collect 5 swords, and then you get maybe like plus 10% damage dealt on all of your characters. And quest number 2 may be something like collect 5 shields, and you might get whatever plus something. It doesn't matter. The point is, you have a quest choice, and you're pretty much just picking based on the reward that you like, and then you might never see this choice again. And I don't know if I like that idea. I think I'd rather it be like, what was I thinking of? Paper Mario's mission list or something like that. This was just one of the first things that came to mind. Is this even what I'm thinking of? I should probably type in 1,000 Year Door, huh? where is what I'm talking about? Is it called the quest board or something? I don't remember what they even called this. Okay, well, I don't know, but it's just a list of stuff with the rewards and everything. I'm doing well. It's been progress has been going pretty smoothly in the last week or so. I was sick before that, and that's why progress was not going smoothly. But yeah, now it's just a matter of figuring out what exactly do we work on. And originally I'd kind of said maybe like 18 days from now we can get the next checkpoint of this game out. It might still be doable, but yeah, really got to kind of plow through a lot of this stuff. Family, regular work for Stanford's organization doing immersive software and games for children. And also for an NZ studio, it takes about 60 hours a week. Ooh. And then 4 hours on top of that a month for your own game. Yeah, that's crazy. But if you like what you're doing, then, I mean, I think that's the goal that many people have and can't get to, is liking what they're doing. And I feel like I also like what I'm doing. What I'm doing is not really monetarily viable. So it's a question of like, how long can I do this for? And for now, it's at least the rest of the year. And then maybe I just shift to making some more money somehow, but still streaming. Yeah, better experience at the hospitals. Yeah, and I don't think a lot of software engineers get that kind of impact. I think a lot of the impact that software engineers get is like plus 10% performance of an app, or, you know, like made a new feature for people, that sort of thing. But it's not like, hey, helped a real person do something that wasn't just a business need. Is 16 by 16 just a smaller resolution? Yeah, so resolution in this case is just number of pixels in an image. So if you think of them all as little boxes, then this would be a 3 by 3 image. And, you know, you could draw some very basic shapes in this amount. But if you were to expand this to, let's say, 6 by 6, wow, I can't paste. Then now you could put a higher resolution image. You could maybe draw out some letters now where you couldn't draw it with a 3 by 3. Feels real good to help hospitals optimize workflows. I can't tell if that's sarcastic, because I was going to say it actually could feel good, but maybe you're doing it at a level where it doesn't. Because really, it's like all software is meeting the needs of somebody, and it should feel good to help the customers out. But sometimes it's like, oh, help them push more widgets or whatever. And it's not, it doesn't feel like a life-changing thing. Yeah, so I think I like the idea of a quest list, and each NPC can have its own set of quests. And maybe, I think we'll just need to write this down over here though. Questions. Feel good to have two choices every time. Yeah, I think I like the idea of a quest list, where maybe at first there are 5 options and you have to pick 3 up until level 3. Then at level 3, you get 5 new options, have to pick 3. Then at level 6, you get the final, I don't know, 5 options and have to choose 4. I don't know how I feel about this. Okay, not sarcastic. Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, that's not to say that people can't feel good about, you know, helping a business push more widgets or something. It just doesn't feel as life impacting maybe as knowing that you're helping people in need. I'm so torn on this. Maybe, okay, I have maybe a better idea here. Yeah. Actually, it might be nice to just have quests that give reward tokens, and then you can pick the reward later. And the number of tokens it gives goes up with the quest difficulty. This system would probably be much clearer as to what's happening. Okay, yeah, I like that idea. Imagine something like this. Like quest number 1 just says collect 5 swords. And then you complete that and you'll go through different quests. So maybe quest number 2 is collect 2, whatever, fiery swords. And quest number 3 is, just keep imagining like harder and harder items you have to collect 1 dragon heart. And this rewards 1 token, this rewards 2 tokens, this rewards 3 tokens. And then you have a reward list. And for 1 token, maybe you get like plus 5% damage. And for 2 tokens, maybe you get something like adventurers move 10% faster on the overworld, and so on and so forth. And that way you can pick what rewards you want separate from having done the quest. I think I like that idea. Yeah, I think I like that idea. Because the cost of a quest is essentially arbitrary, and the way that we scale these up is going to be pretty tough if we don't have something like this in the game yet. The only thing I don't like is that I think it's straightforward enough, but it might not be super clear to new players to games like this. But I think we'll just explain it. Yeah. I'm going to write this down. Oh, wait a sec. I kind of wrote that down here. What if we just had a player-wide skill tree and the quest just earned you points and you could respec whenever you want? But there'd kind of need to be 4 different trees. 1 for each vendor. But did there have to be? Maybe not. These would actually be a skill tree, right? Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I think the problem with this system is there's randomness. So, yeah, problems. There's randomness in the rewards. The requirements for a quest are essentially random. Since there's no connection between the inputs and the output and the reward, I guess. And there's nothing. Well, that's not true. Yeah. Yeah, there's randomness in the rewards. There's randomness in which quests you'll even see. That's a real problem. Show you random. No, rewards token. Maybe that's the only problem. Yeah, some rewards may be quite impactful, but maybe you're never offered those. Oh man. Yeah, and then getting stuck with a build you don't like. There'd be no way of respecializing this sort of thing. And I don't want it to be too punishing. I'd like you to be able to try out different things. Yeah, I really think a skill tree could make the most sense here. Yeah, I didn't plan on doing design for this stuff right now, but I guess I'm going to be doing that. So reward list. Question is, should all buildings give the same kind of reward point? So, I don't really see a problem with that. Yeah. If they all give the same kind of reward point, then it would mean that you would want to upgrade every building like breadth first. So you have your blacksmith and you have your armor smith and you have your alchemist, and they're all going to start at level, well, maybe they'll start at level 0 actually, but level 1. And you'll probably want to go bring all to level 2 and then bring them all to level 3, as opposed to max out the blacksmith or something first. Well, I don't even think it's going to be a matter of what do you want to do. I think it's going to be a matter of what can you do because of how far into the game are you. But it allows us to know which items you would actually collect. Yeah. I think for ease, we could just say yes to this. Yeah. All right. I'm more and more convinced this is a better system, but it means scrapping some of the work we've done, and I feel bad about that. Quest you'll even see. Yeah. Is there even a point having to accept quests? I guess just to inform you that they're there. And then, yes, spending these rewards points, I think a skill tree would make the most sense. You'd be used to the UI. We already have a skills section. There could just be like a town or something here. I don't know what. And then through there, I guess you'd see the different levels of skills. Maybe you pick one in each tier. And you could respecialize at any point. Proposal for a better system. So each NPC offers quests in a linear fashion, e.g. the blacksmith may have quests like collect 5 swords, collect 3 diamond swords, collect 1 sword of the ember dragon, I don't know. And then quests can give increasing amounts of reward points, and reward points can be spent on a player-wide skill tree. Rationale behind this is this allows for respecializations. That way you're not stuck with a build that you don't like. Rationale for this is that you don't have to choose a reward at the time of picking the quest. Also, all buildings can give the same type of reward point. Costs of skills in this tree can go up with the impact of the skill. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Man. Hey, Zerp. Any planned upgrade or changes for your keyboard? If I were to, so the short answer is no, but if I were to upgrade stuff, I would probably make it wireless. I would add an encoder and maybe drop the LEDs. What is this stuff? What is coming from? Where is this stuff? Why is it suggesting like random garbage? Huh. Yeah, those are the only changes I think I would make. Otherwise, I really like this keyboard. And even, it's not like the wires bother me that much, but it would be nice to just free up some of the clutter on my desk. Ever tried an Alice layout? No, I haven't. I think that would be kind of nice. Although at this point, I'm probably on a like, you know, fewer than 40 keys kind of keyboard for the rest of my life. I just really like this kind of keyboard. Are you thinking of getting into this realm? Because I have some general videos that I've done on this. There's one of them at least. All right, well, now this quest follow-up work. What an upgrade should either not show up or should be disabled. I mean, this is technically done already. So make sure you're turning the right item. This we have to do no matter what. So definitely that's worthwhile. But this keep track of which quests are done. Maybe we don't have to do. I'm on a budget and want to try Alice or Split. Yeah, I think if you're on a budget, building something yourself is probably the cheapest way. There was people were saying there was a one of the Chinese companies like AliExpress or something had a corn kit, and I think it's reasonable as far as keyboards go, but it was just the bare bones kit, and you would need to buy switches. Or wait, no, maybe I don't fully remember. Yeah, if you join Discord, it was somewhere in the keyboard channel that someone talked about this, and somewhat recently, and you don't have to join Discord, and I could find it for you if you don't want to, but that might work depending on your budget. Yeah, so then the other question I have is, I guess for this stuff, question, should upgrading a shop be what offers a new quest? And my answer is, I don't know what the answer is actually. And then the other question that I had was, should you even need to accept a quest? Maybe it should be, the answer to both of those might be that we only surface a quest when you find an item that would be used by that quest. That way we know you've done the instance. Then again, maybe you skip that instance or don't get lucky with the drop. Yeah. $100, you could probably still get a split keyboard in that much, but yeah, you have to look for it. But yeah, if you get any other kind of keyboard, Alice layout keyboard, something like that, I highly suggest getting something with customizable firmware and trying out something like QMK or ZMK or really just any customizable thing. And that way you can change the layout in ways that a lot of typical keyboard customization software doesn't support. Like if you get some off the tech Logitech keyboard, and I can't vouch for this, I haven't done this, but I assume they let you change some basic things like macro keys maybe, but not let you turn like the G key into a hold for function 1, press for function 2, where function 2 would probably be like typing the letter G. Something like that. Wiped it thinking you had a backup? Whoa. Was your friend like super mad at you? That does not sound good. Is it difficult to convert 48 by 48 to 32 by 32? Probably. I mean, everything all depends on your art skill, right? It'd be like saying, is it hard to pixelize the Mona Lisa? Like, not for some people, it's not. And granted, you could do that with a computer anyway. But yeah, just doing it by hand, like, no, some people could do that and some people can't. But no, there's no like straightforward way to convert from 48 by 48 to a lower resolution like that. And part of the reason why is anytime you lower the resolution of something, you're cutting out a bunch of pixels. So 100 by 100 is 10,000 pixels. And if you cut it down to 50 by 50, you've cut down the number of pixels by quite a lot, to the point where let's say you shrank something to 2 by 2, you've got no detail in it whatsoever. Like you can't take a Final Fantasy character and make them 2 by 2 and have them look good. What's the sweet spot for amount of keys on a keyboard? It's all dependent on the person. I really like 36. I like having 3 thumb keys. But if you take a look at the ZSA Voyager, and I know this is out of your budget, this is $365, but this keyboard has the letter keys that I have, but then an extra column and an extra row. So there are actually 8 extra keys on this side, but then they sacrifice 1 thumb key. And I liked having 3 thumb keys and then fewer kind of main face keys. But yeah, totally up to you what you like and what you want, what you can get used to. And this is probably the biggest problem that people who get into keyboards face, which is they never just buy one keyboard. If you end up liking your keyboard, you're probably going to buy multiple and try different kinds out and all that other stuff. It just takes a lot more money. Dude, I have 7. Mine wasn't too bad. I got an Ergodox and I sold it. I got a Moonlander and then I sold it. And I have a GMMK Pro, which I really strongly dislike, but use it for gaming. And I have the Corn, which is my main keyboard now. So it's not too bad. Yeah. The Digma arrays, is that what it's called? This thing? Because I think this looks interesting. It's kind of cool that it has 4 thumb keys, although I find that the more thumb keys you have, the harder it is to hit them all reliably. But this is practically just a standard keyboard with some thumb keys. Oh, maybe not that one. Defy. Not sure I'm familiar with that one off the top of my head. This looks like the glove. I wonder if this is their competition for that or what. But yeah, this has a ton of thumb keys. Yeah, the problem with the Moonlander was that it was just hard to use all of the thumb keys reliably, and it only had 4 per hand. But still, they weren't in the most comfortable position. Yeah, Ramu has a custom one. All right, we really should do this. We should also probably show... Oh, what's going on here? Ah, that's what's going on there. Maybe show a picture of which item is needed by the bin. Create something like player-wide bonuses. Then we convert those bonuses into passive abilities. Passive abilities grant permanent buffs at the beginning of battle. Yeah, so note that some abilities would probably be granted on the overworld. And since we would allow for respecs, we need to be able to take those bonuses away. Yeah. Oh boy, all right, one step at a time. We haven't done any coding in a while, so let's see. This. Oh, Chronic, thanks for resubbing. Just wondering why I wasn't subbed. Yeah, just a battery icon next to your name. Welcome back. So get item destination just checks to see if there's a quest, not if you're holding the right kind of item. Not even a parameter, but it should be. Likewise, this code needs to be modified. They should both probably use a function in shop like is current quest item. Nice. Good thing I wrote this down. So what are these things? This is item bin. And item bin has a reference to shop, so that works. And this is shop, and shop is a shop, so that works. So shop should probably have a, what was the name of this that I said? Is current quest item, item. It sounds like I've got an echo. Is current quest item, item. Public bool. All right, this should be easy enough that this can do it. Not quite. But I think it's in quest. Quest data has item, oh, item category. Item ID required item, there it is. So quest is not null and quest dot required item equal, or maybe dot ID equals item ID. Quest does not contain a definition for required item. What? What? Quest? Oh, because it's in quest data? Where is this? It's all the way at the bottom. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Fine. Quest data required item dot. Oh, good. Now the ID doesn't have this. Oh, because it is an ID. Oh, so that should probably be renamed to required item ID. Yeah, rename required item in quest to required item ID. All right, so there's our function. Now what do we do? Now we modify get item destination. So quest is not null, return the item bin. That is not what we want. We want to pass in an item here. So if quest is not null, and I guess we can just do his current quest item. Otherwise, return a thing. Yeah, hey Phil. Did I do that correctly? Quest is not null, return item bin. Otherwise, return item display. Yes, there we go. All right, so now we just need to find the callers of this and change it. And that was it. We're done. Wow, easy. Okay, now there's one last thing we need to do, which is will accept item. Yeah, something here is wrong. This is shop.isCurrentQuestItem. Item. And I think we're done. That was actually pretty easy. The problem is we need to know how do the quests work. 10 axes or fire swords. Do we even have fire swords? Does anything drop these? No. No, nothing drops these. So if I select the fire sword quest, then I won't actually be able to do the quest. But if I select the axe one, it should work. So let's go try that out. All right, grant money. We upgrade the shop. We accept a quest. So if we pick the first one, find 10 axes, then it should only accept axes. Add a bunch of workers in. I'm not going to wait for this. All right, so they should drop it off at the bin there. Good. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. All right, there. Now they'll drop them off at the item displays. Oh, which could apparently go on too long. We got to stop that. I didn't realize that was a problem. But let's write that down. You can upgrade shops beyond their maximum limit with grant most things, apparently. The shop itself probably knows not to let you do that. No, it does not know. Oh boy, that is a problem. The upgrade shop button also has an issue. All right, well, whatever. The thing I wanted to check now is, okay, fire swords. So if I pick that quest, it's a 0 out of 5, but I don't have fire swords in the game or no way of granting them. So they should go to the item displays. Let's see. Oh, they're trying to go to item displays that they can't reach. I've upgraded the shop too much. Yeah, they're just stuck. But one of them should randomly pick one of these. What are they doing? What are they doing? Maybe they all picked one of the ones they can't get to? That's strange. Wonder if I just keep upgrading this, if it'll eventually pick one that... I don't think it ever finds a new destination, though. Oh, weird. Well, I think this is just a problem with upgrading the item displays. Maybe it isn't. Let's go find out why that's happening. Grant most things. Upgrade shop. What does this do? This should have a check for if we're at the max level. This used to work. Is this shop? Yeah, it's shop. Where is this? Here. Shop.cs, here it is. Add next item display. If known display is greater than or equal to the max, this doesn't check for if we're at the maximum level yet. Yeah, that's a problem. Okay, and what do we call? We call upgrade shop. Yeah, this. If has reached max level, return. And then this should technically just be greater than or equal to, as should the other one. Just in case you have a debug function like this. All right, let's go try that out now. Before we go to my job, do you think it'd be rude to ask my manager to have work from home? I think this always depends on your relationship with your manager and how much power they actually have to do something like that. So if you're at a small company or something, your manager might be able to do that. If you're at a huge company, they might not even be possible. But it all comes down to how much you know them, how much do you trust them. It's the same thing when you're asking for a raise, right? Like if you just joined, I don't know, you might not have built up that rapport with your manager yet. They might just think, oh, you do this with everybody or something. But yeah, if you trust the person, I think you should tell them whatever your concerns are. All right, so how do we do this? We need to get a quest for fiery swords. That's quest 1. And then we grant items. That did not work. Yeah, there we go. Axes. Now, those axes should go onto these item displays. If they don't, then I've just got a bug here. Yeah, there's a bug. So they're not finding this. Destination. If it's a current quest item, and that's only true if it's the required item, then return the item bin. If not, get one of the empty displays. What am I doing wrong then? Display will accept item? Does it say anything about quests here? No, weird. 2 years, 6 months into it, we're a pretty big org, I'd say. Also, they don't mind if we work from home as long as we're in the office 2 times a week. And you want like a 5 days a week work from home kind of thing? Because 2 days a week isn't too bad. You want full work from home? Yeah. To be honest, they will probably not go for that sort of thing, if I had to guess. If you wanted it because, I don't know, there's some like, I need to move across the country or something like that, they might have a different reason. But if you're like, yeah, I just want to stay home. Only because I've seen the trend that more and more offices are pulling people back in. And I think more companies are going to go in that direction. And at Google, what they said was pretty much like, you can stay remote, but you may not be able to get promoted or become a manager. And I think Dell might have said the same general thing, like you lock in your current level. I'm not sure if it was Dell though. And I bet other companies have done something similar where they're like, look, okay, fine, that's fine. Remote works for you. You're at a level that we're okay with you staying at. So let's just not let you go up in level or get more responsibilities. It doesn't hurt to ask, probably, like, is that worthwhile? And if you're not moving, maybe you can just get down to 1 day a week. Who knows? I'm not sure what's going wrong here, but I think it comes to this, which is to get the item destination. And let's just put a breakpoint there and find out what's happening. I only care about this for axes. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here and I'm going to edit it. And we're going to say item dot category, item dot, item dot item category. Item dot item category equals, why doesn't it autocomplete here? Item category dot weapon. I don't know what it's called. It is weapon. Okay, so that conditional breakpoint should work. Yeah, let's try that out. Hey, Pressel. Your actual home is like 1,500 kilometers away. Yeah, you might be able to make the argument for something like, hey, my mental health would improve if I were to go to my actual home. Whether or not they allow it, who knows? Was I live? Yeah, I was. I stopped a little earlier than I normally do, and I think you typically come in a little bit late to the morning stream. Well, when I say a little bit late, I mean usually kind of toward the end. So yeah, I probably just ended right before it. All right, so all we need to do is grant items. Wait, does this work? It should break in as soon as this thing touches the, yeah. I want to disable this breakpoint for a sec and see, will it deliver when there's no quest? Yes. Okay, so that's not a problem. So now let's re-enable the breakpoint and accept a quest. Grant money, accept a quest for the fire sword, then grant items and hope that an axe shows up. Good. And now we're going to figure out what in the world is going on here. Why can't I maximize this anymore? There we go. All right, so item is an axe. Item dot item ID. Axe, yeah. Have you encountered a domain landlord? What does that mean? You're 10 hours. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I start my stream at what, 7 p.m. for you? Or I don't know, something like that. Yeah. All right, this should not be the item bin. It's not. So we get an item display and we just return one of those. Yeah, why is this a problem? And there should be 2 of these, maybe? Yeah, 2. Why is that a problem? Sample 1, 0. It's just a random node, yeah. Let's pop out of this function and see what's going on. Item target is not null. So get its drop-off point. Target location is negative 87, 277. Sounds fine. And then add a thing for it, yeah. And this will get hit again. So we keep calling this. Why do we keep calling this? State process. What does this check? How is it nulling it out? Get item destination. Target is null. Yeah, something's wrong here. Will accept item. This must be wrong. Let's put a breakpoint there. Is this the axe? It is. Item target. Will accept is set to true. Oh my God. I didn't see that line. I thought there was nothing quest specific in here. Oh man. Yeah, whoops. Okay, that's obviously the problem. I just read over this function. I didn't see anything quest specific because it's one line right there. All right, this should have been shop dot is current quest item. Item. Yeah, so if a shop that has a quest shouldn't allow you to place items on the displays if it could instead account for the quest. So if it is not the current quest item, there we go. This is pure horror. Have you never been to a programming stream before? Do I work for any companies right now? No. I had worked at Google until October of last year, and then I want to get back to streaming. Gets a domain called floridatoing.com, puts a number on the website, makes all person Googling. It has a phone number on there, gets routed to an automated system. Oh, no, I've never encountered that. Are you running into any problems with that? Did I enjoy working at Google? I recommend watching this video because it's all of my thoughts on why I quit. Hey, Lemon, everything's going well. I am a happy camper today. Made some good progress this morning, and we're making good progress now too. We finished coding the cleric. And there's one problem. It's not really a problem, but I think I want to redesign the quest system. And I'm doing something that does not involve redesigning it right now. But what we're testing right now is when you accept a quest for an item that doesn't exist in the game right now, so fire sword, and then you get a different weapon that exists. So that is not a different weapon. There we go. These axes should be brought to these item displays. And as long as that works, then we're good. And I think it should work now. Yes. Now, I don't know why that character walked over there with a potion. That seemed a little strange. Why would they have done that? Yeah, so there's no way to complete this quest. We don't have fire swords in the game, but I could add them for a second. Saw the dude on TikTok. Want to know if you can counter it? No, I haven't, but I imagine that's more for like brick and mortar businesses or any business that is going for SEO. Yeah. What position did I have at Google? I worked at GCP and Android Studio. I mean, not at the same time, but for about half the time at each place. But yeah, I do recommend checking out that video at some point. It doesn't have to be now, but it will probably shed some light on, why I am where I am now, and maybe some of it will resonate with you. So can we add fire swords to the game really fast? How does grant most items? Here it is. Add items. Add items just goes through an instance. So we need to add it to the instance. Oh, it goes through all instances. Okay, so then let's just put a fire sword right here. Fire sword. There. now I wanna upgrade this. I want to accept the fire sword quest. And now here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna get axes and fire swords, but only 5 fire swords should go in here, and all the other axes should go over there. So I add a bunch of workers, and then grant items. Yeah. So the axes go to the displays. The fire swords go up to there. So far, so good. But once we get 5 fire swords, then even fire swords can be sold. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5. And now this can be sold. Go and sell it. You can do it. Now we accept a quest for axes. And now axes go into the bin. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. All right. Pretty good. Rename item ID to ID. Let's go check it in. Shop is current quest item. Shop is not current quest item. Got it, got it, got it. Looks good. Oh, this is a different problem. Yeah, let's check in just this part. And then any other thing that's a current problem. Yeah, let's check in this. And that's it. Yeah, so prevent shop from over leveling when using grant most things. It wouldn't know to stop at the maximum shop level. For some defensive coding, I also changed the check for the maximum level to see if it was beyond the maximum. Cool. All right, looks good there. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Yeah, nice. Only accept proper quest items. Each quest takes a specific item, but until now, we weren't checking to see if a worker had that particular item. Yeah, for example, a quest at the blacksmith would always accept all weapons until now. Good. So this is done. Now I said I wanted to show a picture of what's needed. I think this would be kind of nice to do. Like, here's the bin. What if we showed a picture of a fire sword when you pick the fire sword quest? Would that be confusing at all? Because you would just see, I guess if we put it like right next to it. Yeah, that could work. I think that could work. So we go to shop. We have the, where's the text? Quest item progress. And what if right next to that we put a sprite? I want it to all be in a line though. I guess it needs to be an HBox thing. HBox container. And then we add in a sprite. And then we set the sprite's texture to just any texture for right now. Yeah. And then set a region enabled 16 by 16. Where did it go? There it is. And then set this to, I don't know, that. Yeah, sure, whatever, a potion. It doesn't matter for right now. I don't really care. Whoops. Then we put that there. Then we put the whole thing. Oh no. Why can't we position this? Do I have this set to lock? Oh, I have it set to pan. Yeah, whoops. Like, what's going on here? Oh, wait, there's a problem here, right? You can't do things this way. I would need to make this be a texture rect, I think. And the texture of the texture rect should be this thing. Oh, this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. Oh, man. I want to just use a sprite because where we store all item data, where is this? We just have, oh, well, I guess it would work. Yeah, we have a vector. That's all we need. Okay, fine, whatever. Can we use regions for this? No, we can't. Oh my God. Can we use an atlas texture? Possibly. New image texture? How do we drag this over here? Oh, what am I doing? I'm dragging the wrong thing. There we go. And then we pick a region, 16, 16, 16, 16. And we get our really stretched out potion. Stretch mode, keep. Keep centered. That works pretty well. Why is this thing so large? In your Discord, which channel is the keyboard in? So this is something I think is not super obvious to people who are new to Discord maybe, but if you click channels and roles at the top, you can just browse through all the different channels that exist. It's in the keyboards one somewhere. Someone had just talked about... Where is it? Huh. Maybe it isn't in there. Okay, hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, no, it's in general chat. All right, I'll just copy the message link and paste it to you. Sorry. Go on. Basically the same thing. This looks kind of good, but I don't want there to be such space between these two things. Can I cut the space out? Container sizing, theme overrides, constants. Here we go. Separation set to 0. If it's set to 0, then why aren't these things touching each other? Yeah, they're off. Is it because... Oh, I don't know why. Shrink begin. Yeah, this doesn't change anything. Huh. If I do set a separation, like 5. Yeah, it puts them farther apart. Oh, maybe you can make it negative. Oh, you can. Okay. Oh, maybe it's just because the image itself is very thin. Yeah, that's probably the thing that's going on here. So if I just set this to any other image, like, I don't know, 64. No, that's not what I meant. Wrong thing. I meant to do, let's change this to like 256. Yeah, that's a bigger potion. It's just a bigger graphic. Does that look better now? Yes, that looks better. Okay, so then there's no reason to adjust the spacing on this. Probably no reason. So we'll call this item graphic. Yeah, and we'll call this quest progress. And this will be the quantity label. Yes, yes. It's all coming together. All right, so quest item label. This comes from somewhere else now. It's going to be get node hbox container slash. And then we get a sprite. Item sprite equals get node hbox container item sprite. And it is a sprite 2D. And then we set, oh, it's not a sprite. What am I talking about? It's a, oh my God, what is it? I don't even know what. A texture rect. Oh, I shouldn't call it item. Oh, it's item graphic. Because it technically is that. All right, item graphic. All right, how do we set the region? I do not know. Texture can be an atlas texture. Region equals... It's just a rect, right? Yeah, new rect 2. Rect 2. All right, now we just set it to a bunch of coordinates. Let's set it to 16, 16, 16, 16. This should turn into that thin potion, and if it does, then it means that we've done this correctly. So let's go try that out. So it's currently the green potion. It should change itself into the blue potion, which is incorrect, but it's one step closer to being correct. So we grant money. Oh, no, it's already there. Nice. Yeah. Wait. No, that's wrong. But it's wrong because it shouldn't be in ready. That's why. Although it should have worked from ready. What happens if oh, the NPC's gone. Uh-oh. Is there a bug? Yes, there is. Goodbye, NPC. Node not found. HBox container / quest item progress. Oh, because I didn't call it that. I called it quantity label. No wonder everything broke. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's try that now. Yeah, they just retired. If you can still sell items but not be at your shop, I mean, who would stay there? All right, still a problem. Still 9 problems. This time, can't find quantity label. Why not? Because you're under quest progress. Did I name this thing wrong both times? Oh my god, I did. It's not HBox container. If I had just looked at any of this stuff, it would have been fine. Whatever. We're doing error-driven development. All right, look at that. Yeah, cool. So now when we actually accept a quest, there we go. It does look a little strange. I should probably make it somewhat transparent. Finally free. Feels like enlightenment. Wow. Does your head feel cold now? That's my autobiography, error-driven development. Except for I wrote it, so now it's just a biography. All right, I think the item graphic should be made slightly transparent. Maybe that's a bad way of doing it. And then I think we need to customize the region of this dynamically. So not here. In fact, let's get the texture rect of this. Yeah, private texture rect quest item graphic. Put this here. And get rid of this. So where do we set that there's a quest? There's this. I need to know. Oh, here it is. Set progress label visibility, update progress, and I guess set the quest item. We can just do here. This needs to be based on, what is this? A vector 2i. Vector 2i chords equals quest, required quest data, required item, dot something. What's it called? I don't see it. Oh, it's an item ID. Oh my god, so we need to get the data? Oh, this is item ID. Item ID equals this. All item data dot get that dot atlas chords. We did it. Now we just get the chords. Chords X, chords Y. Quest is not null. So quest could be set to null. I'll just make a function here. Set quest item graphic. And we put all this in there. Private void set quest item graphic. If quest is null, return. And there we go. Let's go try it out. There you go, James Warner. Felt cold when I left the shower, but it's fine now. I see a new life form. And now you can join the wonderful world of hats. Hey, Bothy. Decided to change the value of an engine-defined variable on me in one of my blueprints, and I've been bending everything left and right to get a reference to the old value. But shouldn't it be in source control somewhere? Am I missing something? Aren't they something you check in the blueprints? Oh wait, it's engine defined. Okay, so it's in Unreal's source control probably. Man, although that could happen with any engine. All right, let's try this out. I accept a quest, so the fire sword quest should show a fire sword icon. Yeah, it's one of those. Oh, these aren't unique. And I put the coordinates in the wrong spot. I am so smart. There we go. And let's go make this unique. How do we make it unique? I think we can just click this and say make unique. It's just the texture I want to have you be unique. Does that work the way I think it does? I don't know if that's what make unique means. I didn't copy paste it, right? I don't know, but we're about to find out. Yeah, no. It worked at least. Although this does look weird still. I do want it to be closer to there. But it did update it for all of these, which means this is not unique in the way I wanted it to be. We can probably just clone it though. How many high egos, toxic, and borderline psychopaths have you met in your career as a developer, and how have you dealt with it? High egos, more than toxic people, I would say. I don't think I've met like super toxic people. The high egos though, oh man, it's hard because I feel like high ego is sort of a sign of insecurity. And when you have someone with insecurities, you can't really address the insecurity directly. So in that particular case that I can think of right off the top of my head, it was like minimize my contact with that person. I think if I had to continually work with them, I'd probably try giving feedback in some way. But yeah. Elite Dev. Are you dealing with someone now, Lemon? Because I think people can make the job harder than the job can make the job. I'm not saying the work can't be tough sometimes, but I think that people can make it infinitely tougher. So yeah, if you are working with toxic personalities, it just makes the job so much more unenjoyable. There are a couple of problems here, but I think the biggest problem is that this is... Oh wait, maybe it's also the atlas? Let me try this. If I say make this unique, does this change anything? I don't know exactly what this is doing. That's why it's not super clear to me. Grant most things. There we go. Accept a quest. No, yeah. All right, I'll just make a new texture. Everyone at Google has high ego. I didn't find that to be the case, actually. I think that there were people who were frustrating to work with for sure. But most of the time, at least, these people were intelligent, and not all the time did they have a high ego. Every seasoned developer has high ego? I don't think that's true. Yeah, I think your ego and experience are not linked inextricably. Quit my job as a support engineer due to a person that was toxic and he was going to be team leader, so I was out. Yeah, that sounds like exactly what I was talking about. They make the job worse than other people. And by the way, I think in smaller companies, it's much harder to escape that sort of thing because sometimes there's also favoritism keeping the person there, or yeah, any number of other factors that make it hard to extract that. So I think what we would have to do is make a unique atlas texture here. Is there a clone on this thing? No, there isn't. What if I just set up the texture inside code anyway? It is, what is this? New atlas texture. The atlas texture has an image texture within it. The image texture has a region. And I can't just drag this over to here, right? Yeah, I need to do this. Wait, right? Image texture? Yeah. Why is this not... Oh, there we go. I could do this too, I guess, but then it's just an image, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is what's weird about using the controls instead of a sprite. So yeah, atlas with an image. And we drag the image onto here. Yeah, and give it a region. Okay, let's do that. Quest item graphic. dot texture equals new atlas texture. And then we set, oh wait, we could just initialize this here. And then this itself has a texture. What does atlas texture have? Oh wait, we could just tell what it's called. It's atlas, of course. Atlas equals new image texture. And then the image of this is equal to the Oryx items thing, which I don't know where we use. Yeah, this. Which means we need to use the resource loader to get this. Resource loader. And then paste this in. Image texture doesn't have a thing for image. What is it? Texture? Oh, what is this called now? What is this called? Load path? Resource? Huh. Don't like the direction in which management is going. At Google, did you have the freedom to build anything you wanted? Follow the company? You're rarely going to have the freedom to build anything you want. And even if you have the freedom to build something how you want, which is also unlikely, it's going to be a product that exists and has, you know, let me put it this way. At these big companies, the scale comes with certain pros and cons. So one of the pros is, of course, the scale of it. You get to affect tons and tons of people or businesses with the changes that you make. And one of the cons is that these companies become lightning rods for litigation, for like recruiting, for any number of things that make it harder for the company to just say like, we're going to move fast at something. So there are processes to follow. You can't just snap your fingers and get scale. And as a result, you are following a lot of these processes. You're using technologies that the company has chosen, that the larger team or org has chosen. So I wouldn't say you get a lot of freedom in that sense. But I mean, you do get a lot of freedom in terms of which problems you're solving or which problems you kind of steer the team towards solving. Yeah, it's sort of hard to describe. I know you said you have about 3 years of experience at the company you're at. And I don't know what size company you're working at, although you did mention an organization. Images inside a texture, inside an atlas, inside an image. I mean, you could do something like that, apparently. Been toying with Godot the last 2 to 3 days. It's a bit weird at first because both engines have a pretty different paradigm. How do you handle inheritance and or node variants? Pretty curious about how you set up your architecture. So I ended up making an ECS within Godot, which stores components inside of a single node in Godot. And then within that component, there's this holder component. And it has in memory all the different components we might use. So that's generally how I set things up. And then the different scenes that are there, they can get a pretty good idea about looking at, do I have the code for this available? Okay, yeah, I have the code for this available. This can kind of show you how I set up a different game that happens to be public source. So if you look at, I don't know, any of the scenes here, like, well, this isn't going to mean a whole lot, I guess. But this is a jumper scene. There are some particle effects. There's a character body. There's a rectangle on this for collision. There's a label for the name. I'm not sure exactly what you mean with the inheritance and node variant stuff. But yeah, I think an ECS generally makes things a lot easier. And Unity has it built in, although now it's backed by their whole data-driven system. So I think it's like really cumbersome to set up. And Godot does not have it built in, so you need to either make your own or add one from the asset library. Let's go back to this. What was I even modifying? Quest something, quest graphic, quest item graphic. That's what. Yeah, this. Okay, I was trying to figure out how you load an image. There's create from image. I guess we want that. Image texture dot create from image. Then delete this. Cannot convert from string to image. Oh my God, we need to resource load this thing. Do we ever use an image texture anywhere here? Nope. Resource loader. Load packed scene. There must be, yeah, load texture 2D. Can we not just do this? Oh, let's try that out. This should fix that duplication problem. Let's do it. Grant most things. Click this and this. Nice. Yeah. So now we only have a fire sword for that one. Now we can hide this. Done. Except for that's for the entirety of quest progress. So there's a visible thing here. Quest item progress. This is gonna have to change names to quantity label. Quest quantity label. Quest quantity label. And then we have a container, HBox container. Although that it's an HBox container doesn't matter, which is a box container. Oh, come on. Not gonna let me go to that. I want to figure out what the inheritance hierarchy is of this. So it's a box container, which is then a control, which is a node. Yeah, all I care about is that it's a node. So all we're gonna do is get that node. Because I just want to be able to set the visibility of this. This is quest progress node. Sure. Now we get that. Quest progress. Change these to be this. And then set the visibility of this thing. Drat. No, it doesn't have a visible on it. Oh man, come on. What does? Control? Control does. Okay, we'll just make it a control. Yeah. Now there's one other tiny problem, which is that now this function name doesn't make sense. Set quest progress visibility. There. All right, let's try that out. So we should be able to accept quests in all of these and have the different icons. So that's the fire sword. This is the big mana potion. Cool. And this is demon helmet. Yeah, good. Now, I don't like the gigantic spacing between there, and I thought I fixed that. Hey, Schwartz. Why are you not fixed? Why are you gigantic? What happened here? How did this get so big? Did I? What? How did I do that? I can't even resize it now? Can I just not save this? I don't know what happened with this. I also don't know why I can't resize it now. I can't even reset this. Why not? Custom? What is going on? Oh, because the item graphic thinks it's gigantic. Oh, because I don't have region set. Oh, well, that fixes that, huh? I guess we might as well set this to something. In fact, we might as well set this to something that's bigger. Yeah, there. Can we make this not be gigantic now? There we go. That's what I wanted. Let's see. Is that more reasonable, or is this still like super spread out? It's still pretty spread out. Why does that happen? Fire sword is 256, 160. 256, 160. I guess it's kind of spread out there. Yeah, I guess so. Well, we could just override the separation and make it a little bit tinier. Wait. Oh, there is a separation to begin with. Oh, that explains it. I'm overriding this to set it to 0, but by default it must be something higher than that. How do we figure out what it was by default? I think we need to like modify the theme for that. Oh my god, I don't want to do this. Okay, well, it's in here somewhere. Where are you? I don't remember how to even do this. Base type. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I wrote about this in here though, right? Theme. Styles, normal. Theme editor. To use this, Start by clicking the plus button. Oh yeah, I remember now. And then make this an HBox container. And now we should be able to find separation. It's 4. I knew it. I knew it. I didn't know it. Let's delete this now. Clear. Yeah, so we just said this is 0. We should be good. Or maybe even lower. No, maybe 1 or 2 is good. Okay. Ooh. All right. There it is. That is not a spacing of 0. Maybe zoomed out? No. Yeah, what happened to my perfectly manicured spacing? Is this saved by default? Yeah, it was saved. It looks close here, but then I actually set it and it's not close. I'm going to set it to like -10 and see if this is even taking effect. Because maybe something's overriding it. No, that's definitely working. Huh. Something changing the position of it? Shop. Item. Quantity. Nope. Wow. Well. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Weird. Stretch mode keeps centered. Keep aspect centered. Weapon position. That was probably something. Yeah, that was for the signs, I think, maybe. I think we just need to set this to an amount that just makes it look good. I don't know why it looks different here versus in the actual game. This is with it set to 0. It's like the left pixel of the item should be touching the right pixel of the label, but it's clearly not. Oh, wait a sec. I think I know why. I think because the label expands outward. So when it's at 10 out of 10, it's going to look like that. Yeah, drat. All right, so if I hit grant items here, you'll see the spacing get a little bit better as they turn in items. No, I guess I would have to hit the number 10 because you won't have 2 digits before that. But yeah, it's probably something like it being left aligned. Because this says 10 out of 10. If we change this to 0 out of 10, we'll probably see the same problem. Yep, there it is. There's the problem. All right, can we do something about that? Container sizing, horizontal fill, shrink. I don't know. Horizontal alignment. I guess, I mean, we could right align it, but I wanted to just shrink the size of this label based on the text that's in it. Can't just flip them around and the image doesn't depend on the sizing of the label. I don't actually know if we can because I think we're going to have the same problem on the left side of the label too. Just want to see what that would do. Yeah, I think it would be this, shrink center. Well, let's increase the text size now and see what happens. It's not shrinking the size of this. Oh, maybe there's a minimum size? Aha! I found you. Yeah, there we go. All right. So yeah, I want to move this a slight bit to the right. And then probably bump up the separation 1 pixel. There we have it. All right, now I think it should look good. Yeah, except that I didn't center it. It's centered here. We have it set to... Oh, I probably need to control how these things resize now. Yeah, we want this to grow to the right. Expand end. Is that what I want? Like if I make this larger now? Yeah, perfect. That is what I want. Perfect. Yeah, that looks good. What about this? That could be better. Yeah, it's off when it's something like 0/5. Oh yeah, of course that's why it's off, because of how this is growing. Shrink center, shrink begin. No, this will never move the position of the label. I want this to say centered in there, but in order for that to happen, this needs to know that it's positioning it based on the first element here. I think we would just need to do this through code. So I probably shouldn't worry about this right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's just going to look good for 0 out of 10. Okay. Yeah, okay. So now the question is, does this even look good? Like the item is just showing up in midair. I feel like there should be a sign and we should etch it onto the sign. How well does it perform on Mac Studio versus Windows? I haven't tried this stuff on Windows, or at least not game development on Windows in a while. So it's hard for me to say. Yeah, I feel like there should just be a sign in the game, and the sign should have the graphic on it. Do we have a sign graphic? I am wasting a bunch of time on this. I shouldn't be doing any of this. Pictures, Super Retro World. It's probably one of these somewhere. Overworld pack. No, that's not the overworld. I always confuse this. It's the exterior one. Where's that? This. We have a sign. Yeah, we have a sign. I don't think it'll work at its current size because, yeah, I'll probably need to expand the sign and also probably skew the graphic a little bit so that it looks like it's on the sign. This kind of works for now, though. Yeah, I don't like a couple of qualities of it. But at least now it's clear that if you were to get fiery swords, you wouldn't be putting them inside this bin. Or no axes generated. Well, now we have almost entirely axes. Yeah. Can I use a 16 by 16 sprite and a 48 by 48 tile set? You could. If you're saying, can I expand it up to that size? You'll end up with, imagine something like this. Like, let's say we had this character and we scaled them up by 4x. So they might be gigantic and show their pixels. Like you can see individual pixels in this. Whereas zoomed out, you might be like, okay, I can't tell the individual pixels anymore. I mean, maybe at like this level. But I think kind of a better general answer for this stuff is just try this out and see. Maybe you're asking because you're about to purchase some of this stuff, but you can find free assets. They might not be good assets, but you can find free assets for any size pretty much. And then just slap a few of them together and see, does it look good? You don't even need to do it in a game editor. You can just do it in MS Paint or something if you want to. You know, like I have this here. So yes, ideally you would use a tile map editor and you'd actually construct a map, but nothing's stopping me from doing something like this. Just make a new graphic, paste that in, then take this character and paste this in and just see, like, does that look good? And if you say yes, then cool, you can go forward with them. I never use GIMP, but it looks cool. Yeah, it's nice. It's a bit quirky, I would say. I've used it for a while now. Yeah, it's exactly what you're wondering. Yeah. Yeah, and I just closed the image, but yeah, imagine if I had scaled up the character 4 times, it would look probably a little bit strange, you know? Like they might be twice the size of doors at that point. Because a lot of times in a tile set, you'll have graphics that the characters are meant to interact with. or the sense of scale would just be thrown off. So for example, here are some fruits. If your character is like the same size as a fruit, it could be okay depending on the style of the game. Like old Game Boy games, that's kind of how it happened. But in a real world game, if you were the size of a tree, it might be like, oh, my sense of scale is totally thrown off. Yeah, like if you look at Pokemon Red, what do I search for? Field Pokeball. Something like that is what I'm thinking of. Let's see if it shows up though. No. I wanted screenshots of the Game Boy. Yeah, something like this. Like, see, the character is the same size as the tree, but hey, that's what you expected at the time, right? It's like the art style almost. Same thing here. It's like Link is the size of 1/6 of a house. Those are some small houses. All right, I'm gonna mark this as done for now, but I think there's follow-up work we have to do for this too. Quest picture follow-up. Get the item to show on a sign instead of showing on in the air. Let's put that in quotes. Hopefully it'll be clear what I mean by that. And then center the quantity label over the bin again. Actually, something I just thought of. It's not that hard to just make a sign, right? I could just cut this part out, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to think about this too much right now. All right, what do we have? Keep track of which quests were done. I don't think we're going to do that. And the reward stuff, I think we're going to change completely. Okay, so let's write this. Where I left off, wrap up the commit I was working on. Then, yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, I got to take a break. I should have like an hour ago and just didn't for some reason. So I will be back in a little bit. Is it jump time? It's jump time. For those who haven't seen this, you can type join in chat. And the goal is to jump up as high as you can in the world. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, look at that. One game played, first place. One game played, second place. Wait, Vafi, that was the first time you ever played? Yeah, wow. I'm surprised. All right, well, close the game. Hey, LSRP. Welcome back. Thank you for the resub. Good afternoon to you too. We are going to wrap up this commit. For the number of lines of code I actually wrote here, it's a very minimal commit. Yeah. That I want to make into its own function. The rest of this I think is pretty good. We just need a game constant for the item size. There's, well, tile size and pixels. I guess that works. Yeah. So 16 shop. Checkpoint number 2. I think I have it written in this, which, I mean, you eventually found it, but where is it? Yeah, if you're reading this before July 19th or so, the plan is to launch checkpoint number 2 on July 19th or the 26th. That may or may not happen. How hard is it to learn C# and make simple games? If I'm willing to spend 12 hours a day. I don't think you need to spend 12 hours a day. If you know a programming language, then learning another one is not nearly as hard as it was to learn the first one. Because I think the concepts are what are tough. What's tough? Like variables, control flow, functions. I don't know. Just thinking through this, thinking through programming, maybe debugging. Once you've learned this in one language, you're just learning how to do all those concepts that you already know in another language. So it's like, I guess this isn't a great example because you don't learn this as an adult, but if you were to learn your first human language as an adult, it would probably be really tough. But learning a second one is not nearly as hard because you know how words and grammar and how everything works. As far as making games, simple games, yeah, I think you could make some progress in like a weekend even on all of this stuff. Yeah, I don't think you'll have a problem, Halter Baby. I would suggest downloading Godot and trying out just GDScript at first. Not even using an external editor, just like use Godot for everything and just see what it's like. You know, put a sprite in the game and just move it around with the arrow keys. And that really shouldn't take you too long. And that's like the foundation for half of the old games. Like Pong is moving a paddle sprite with the arrow keys. And Pac-Man is moving Pac-Man with the arrow keys. Like think of how many games are just move a character around. All right, yeah, so the thing I wanted to change was this. Int tile size equals that. Good, and then put this here. So I like how this is. I don't like this part being here exactly. I mean, I guess it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend trying an engine first, only because it's going to simplify quite a lot and you'll feel like you're getting to actually making a game sooner than if you were to try something like Pygame. Yeah. All right, are we looking good for this? Yeah, I think so. Add quest item graphic next to the bin. Not totally happy with how this looks, but at least it's clearer which item needs to be turned in. A required item should be renamed to required item ID. I don't like how, even though I use the refactor tool, it doesn't rename it everywhere. Granted, it does just produce errors, so I guess I can go find them all. Or just search for required item again. Oh, there aren't even that many places. Yeah, fine, I'll just manually replace it. There's like 6 of them, right? Yeah, that's it. All right, so now it should build. And then the other thing I wanted to rename was item ID. No, item ID. Yeah, this. I do not like the name of this. I think this should be just ID. There. I don't know what is being talked about right now. What are you both talking about? Oh, VCMP is Vice City multiplayer. Is Pawn some like server of Vice? No. Yeah, what is Pawn? What is SAMP? San Andreas. Oh, okay. Okay, so the only thing I don't know is what is Pawn? C like scripting language for San Andreas. Okay, gotcha. All right. I have not actually played a Grand Theft Auto yet, except for maybe the one on the original Nintendo. Am I even thinking that correctly? Is that on the original Nintendo? No, I'm not thinking of that correctly. What am I thinking of? No, I'm thinking Metal Gear on the original Nintendo. Let me see if that's even a thing. Yes, it is. Okay, this is the game I was thinking of. Oh, this is very far from Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, it goes to show you how much I pay attention to any of this stuff. All right, so all we did is change some variable names here. Just make sure it still runs. Yeah, I mean, looks fine. Also, if we were to keep this style of accepting quests, I think having icons on the buttons would be pretty nice. Yeah. Okay. Rename variables. Quest data is required item ID. Required item always made me feel like I could type .id afterward, but it was the ID. And item.id is more ergonomic than item.item ID. Wow. No, you can post a link. Yeah, totally fine. I'm just gonna hover my mouse over purge. Not the bot that's going to get you. Oh man, I have a lot going through my head right now. I should probably say some of it. So it's currently the 1st of July. I don't know why that didn't work. What is going on here? There we go. It's the 1st of July. I said that I either wanted the 19th or the 26th to be the checkpoint number 2 launch. If I want quests to be in there, in the way that I think I've redesigned them to, I think we need to spend like the rest of this week on quests. Let's focus on some other tasks for now. I don't want to do quest stuff again just yet. Yeah, I think we need to reframe this task. Reframe this task to have the new quest design in it. It should really be done for checkpoint number 2. Why is this important for checkpoint number 2? Yeah, I guess it's important. Fine. I think we need to get a good enough idea for how players progress through the game. All right. What about the upgrade shop button? Is that still problematic? Want to get some of these things off of the list. So grant most things. Can we? No, we cannot upgrade the shop. Perfect. That is no longer a problem. All right, file bug. Calling debug lose all battles while in transition state causes a million errors. File task, give a timed effect. GitHub issues, comment on 151. I think we closed this, right? Yeah. I'll do that tomorrow, I think. Small bug, shop dialog, oh, no, the quest is completed. Yeah, I'm not worried about that yet either. Abilities, save somewhere in GitHub or README. Summoner, customers a chance to spawn every so often. Oh, we could do this one right now. And then I think I want to fix the AI of the workers and customers. Fix AI of workers and customers. I want to make them super smart, which is not that hard to do. Where is the task? Here it is. Yeah, this. Cool. So add proper rogue graphic into the game. How will we do this? Because I now have the expectation that all the graphics are in this style, and this one will not be that way. Oh, man. This is the new rogue graphic, by the way. I really like it. Well, the easiest way to do it would just be to copy paste it over the character that it currently looks like. But I don't think we should do it that way. So let's go into Adventurer. So how does this work? Frames per animation, number of characters per row. Yeah, we need to know something about this particular character and know that when it's the rogue, it does not follow this way of doing things. Yeah. That's going to break a heck of a lot of this. Do you have your own graphics fully, or are you still using others? We have a lot of custom graphics now. Well, I say a lot. We have like all of the enemies that we have, the bat, the skeleton, this thing, the slime. These are all custom graphics. But then these sheets are the Super Retro World graphics. The Rogue is based on that style, but is custom. So Quickie Joe did all of the stuff that I just showed pretty much. And then someone named GIF or GIF online did these. And then the exterior and all those. Like these graphics are all the ones we got from Super Retro World. All right, well, I can think of how we would do this, but it's not going to be easy, and it's not probably the most important thing yet. The problem with this is that we only pull from the character sheets right now. So we need something that will, yeah, we need to refactor this. I want to do this. Let's go tackle that. Okay. All right, what does this entail? Shouldn't all target the same item display, or if they do, they should find a new one pretty much immediately. They shouldn't all wander for exactly 2 seconds. Consider allowing a worker to put something back into storage. Consider allowing you to manually click an item. Yeah, I think what bothered a lot of people, the wander state is fine to be in, but in order to leave it, you needed to be in it for at least 2 seconds. Wait, was that true for everybody? Worker wander? Yes, it was. Yeah, so what if we just delete this? And customer wander is the same way. This alone will already, well, now this state does nothing. Oh, no, it doesn't do nothing. It's that we have a process in the root. Yeah, this alone will already make them better, but it won't make them perfect because they still need to reach their target. Oh, now they're all just stuck there, huh? Because we have no process time in here. What exactly is going on? Oh, they're constantly getting new destinations, maybe? No, you can continue to chat. That's totally fine. I'm pretty good at parsing chat to see if someone else said something. So I can just tune this out. I'm reading through it kind of casually here. I read about the Christmas event you did. I think that's really good. Yeah, so how does this work? You would immediately leave this, which would remove the target location component. When removed, okay, so then this shouldn't be the case. You have a held item, then do that. Otherwise, pick up an item from the storeroom. So we need to figure out if there even is an item to be picked up from the storeroom. Yeah. So wander around unless that's the case. Yeah. How do we know that you'll have one? Pick storeroom source. Get the storeroom, get filled displays, and then see if there are any there. We could do this. I don't want to make this too crazy here. This is the worker. Storeroom. Get the storeroom, get the item displays. And if there are displays. There. Oops. What am I doing deleting all that? There we go. All right, it's not too bad, but I'm not super happy with that. But let's try that out for now. No, I haven't. Just blocked you out. Yeah, so now workers wander around properly. And to make customers do the same thing, we need to change customer wander. This would be buy item. Buy item does what exactly? It figures out if there's an item that this character has money to be able to afford. Okay, that is not a thing that we have right now. I need this to be callable from the other state. So what does this do? It gets your money. It gets all of the filled displays. That's part of town because we assume this is a customer. Yeah, it's shouldn't be the case. Shouldn't be the case. In fact, probably none of these states should be the way they are. Oh, except that this also goes to customer wander. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, tiny little change we got to make, which is entity.town. Actually, wait a second. What? Why does customer even have a town? Is it literally just for that one line of code? No, it's for a few, but this shouldn't exist anymore. We have a town component now, don't we? Yeah. Customer.town should not exist. Does worker have anything it shouldn't have? No, worker looks pretty good. Does customer have anything else it shouldn't have? Nope, looks fine. Yeah, it's just that one thing. 4 in the morning. Okay. Well, thanks for dropping by, for subbing, for gifting subs. I hope you have a good, I guess, morning at this point. Yeah, take care. Wait, why you said you're not going? Oh, an all-nighter. Oh. I misread that. All right, my bad. Yeah, yesterday I joined someone's stream because I hadn't been watching Twitch for a while, and I was like, oh, let me drop into someone's stream. And I did, and I was there for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, and I said, oh, I'm just here to troll for 10 minutes, meaning like, oh, there's another 6 minutes I'm going to be here. But the person said, okay, bye. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm leaving now. I didn't want to be like, no, wait, say goodbye to me in 6 minutes. So I just left. Then the streamer stopped streaming, so it worked out pretty well. Yeah, so this function, I got caught up because of the whole town existing thing. But this is here, but I don't think needs to be here. Out of money. This part only exists on customer, though. Yeah, only exists on customer. We could have it taken a customer. Yeah. How old is Adam? There is an Adam's age command that has the answer. It's a fun little set of puzzles if you want to figure out how old I am. Yeah, Adam Sage. Nobody has figured out. No, a bunch of people did. There used to be, I think Straw Poll is totally gone now, right? Or is it just like a paid website or something? Wait a sec, what? Why was I under the impression that the mine got deleted? Pricing. What? I could have sworn all my stuff got deleted a while ago. Anyway, there used to be a straw poll that I had at the end there, which had essentially like an attendance. Like, did you get to this point? Did you have fun? I wonder if they got rid of all the free ones and then people complained and they put it back up. Or am I misremembering this? Don't know. All right, well, let's move this somewhere else. Where do we put this? Pick item target. Number of affordable items. It can return null and then this thing can figure out what to do. That's just got to be something with money. I don't know where we put this, but we can very easily extract this function out to somewhere else. So where is this somewhere else is the only thing we're trying to decide, and it's always impossible to figure out what folder to put things in. So what folder should this go in? It's picking stuff with item displays. Item displays exist in the scene scripts folder. I don't think it should go there. Let's open up Finder. Game source. Items, maybe. Town, maybe. Yeah, let's put it in town. Cost functions. Cost functions. So let's put like item display functions. Sure. Sure. All right, cool. Now let's put it in there. So you go here. Public static item display question mark. Pick item target. And this is going to take in a node entity. I guess entity. All right, now start importing stuff like crazy. That shouldn't be capitalized. We could just capitalize it here, actually. Just keep importing stuff. Don't ever stop to question it. Entity.town. This doesn't exist. That part's fine. Link needs to exist. There. All right, next, make this lowercase. Next, get this from the town. Town component TC. TC.town. And delete that. There we go. Oh, I see. We have two different return nulls here. One is if there are no item displays. The other is if there are none that are affordable. That's my favorite thing to cook. I do not like cooking, but I really like pasta. So probably pasta. But that's not really cooking, I would say. Yeah. I like baking though. At least a little bit more. But I'm not super creative when it comes to baking. Although I do have... Let me find this video. Here's my cooking show. If anyone wants to watch my cooking show. There. that video. It took me forever to make this video and it's got 546 views. It was like 14 hours of work or something. Do I want to watch your cooking show? Much to say it was a lot of time spent. Spaghetti code, penne code, all the same. Yeah, so there's a bit of a problem here in that we can't differentiate whether there is no item display because you couldn't afford it. Maybe we just, no, this has to take affordability into account. I could do a couple of things. Yeah. All right. Well, let's write some options down. So problem, we no longer, we could just take in a customer. Let me just cut through this customer entity there. And now we can just do entity dot out of money here. Yeah. All right, now in customer wander, we do this. So item display equals pick item target. This comes from item display functions, entity. And if that exists, then transition. There. It's going to make this recipe and report back. Oh, man. All right. Okay, so everything's wandering around. Now, as soon as an item exists, these characters should just gun for it. Yep, there they go, immediately. And then as soon as an item is placed down, and they'll both go right here, these customers should go toward the item. So that is step one of making them smarter. So they should immediately start moving there. This one now cannot move anymore. So I got to fix that problem. And the customers are not trying to buy anything. So I got to fix that problem. Well, that's fun. So customer wander, if item display is not equal to null, transition into buy item. Buy item does all the same stuff. This pick item target shouldn't even be here anymore. Yeah, pick item target. This is with the entity. How did I break that part though? That's the part I don't understand. I know I have a bunch of problems here. And so if all item displays are full, the workers will no longer wander. They should probably go to the shop area and wander around there. And customers don't buy items. Excuse me, we're going to try to solve that one. The customers don't buy items thing. Why is that happening? Item display is not equal to null and transition to buy item. Are we implementing nano transactions? I should implement mega transactions where everything in the game costs $10,000. That'll teach people. Try to have fun playing a game. Acquire target. If there are no targets, wander around for a bit. In this particular case, it's that... I don't actually know what's going on here. Reasonable for Seattle. I think not. Why is it only granting armors? I don't think it's coded to do that. I think it's just randomly only picking armors. All right, so they go over here and they deposit these just fine. Then the customers do nothing. Oh, wait, no, I take that back. No, I don't take that back. They're coming over here. They're just not able to make a... Oh, they're breaking everything. That's why. Value cannot be null. Component. Oh, do customers not have a town? Oh, my God. That's probably what's going on. Item display functions. I seriously never added this. I never added this. Okay, well, that explains why that other code was the way that it was. Should be easy to fix. Yeah, it should be easy. In customer, when we create the customer, we just add in a town component. Customer instance, new town component town. Yeah, and then we can delete the rest of the stuff eventually. Not going to worry about that yet. How close is my guess? There is no guessing. You can do it. You can do it. Nice. Okay. So that was step one, is just make it so that they instantaneously make decisions, and they are. Step two is that if they're going to something that someone else is going to, that they should find a different target. Although actually, wait a sec. If I add a bunch of workers and then put in a bunch of items, they should be able to at least find new destinations immediately. Yeah. So that's kind of not really a problem anymore. The problem, I guess, is that multiple customers might go to the one item that exists in a shop when there are items in multiple shops. And I mean, also that all these things just freeze until there's free space. Did something just teleport? Oh no, it was probably the customer ran out of money. Yeah, like this is a little bit weird. I feel like they should still go to the shop area and then wander around. Okay. Oh, take care, Nuka. See you later. I want to get more sleep. Where is this? Worker wander. So this is go to drop off item, but there's no drop off item location. So we need to figure out that there's no location. Item target dot will accept item. Get item destination. Yeah, we need this. We need to know that there's a destination and that it will accept the item. Okay, we gotta do that. Yeah, the idle animations thing I think is a good idea, although I still think it would be a lot to add those animations in when we've got a lot of other things ahead of it. But they should at least walk around in the meantime. I do the Finding Nemo seagulls. So we need to get the destination and we need to know that it is not null and will accept the item. Otherwise, there's no point transitioning here. So town is get the town, then item target. Item target? What is item target? I accepts item. I accepts item. Yep. And the item needs to be the item that they're holding. Held item component. All right. Need that. So if item target is not equal to null, and the target will accept the item, then we transition to this state. Okay, I think that'll fix the problem where all of the displays are full. Have I heard of the brush? I mean, I can extrapolate from what you've said already. Whether or not I've heard it, I don't remember. All right, let's just speed this up. So they should just wander around when... Oh, there aren't nearly enough workers. We need to get to the point where all the displays are full. There we go. And yeah, they're still wandering around in that case. So the next step would be to get them to wander in the general shop area, which I might not even really do. Yeah, this is decent. It looks really cool. They're selling game speed. There you go. I guess customers are also on a total buying spree. Customers need a different state machine eventually. All right, now go fight those battles. Win me some items. They want a tiny amount of potions. Oh, man. I thought of a bunch of little ideas that I think would be kind of cool to implement. I think it'd be neat to have a building that produces its own items, maybe, for when you just don't have anything in your storeroom. Actually, wait a second. That could be cool. Did I ever frame it as a building that does it? Like, it could have its own storeroom, essentially, but it just produces items. Let's see if I have that written down. I mean, searching item in this document is kind of nuts. Quest. A building that produces items for you every once in a while. It serves as a lab or special machine. Its item displays should be able to act as a source for items. In other words, workers would go to this factory, pick up items from there. We would probably need an I produces item interface. Or like I item source interface. No, Alter Baby. It's fine that you're too lazy. Not too lazy, oh man. I was reading your words. You said you're very lazy. That sounded like a very leading thing I was going to say. It's fine if you feel like you're too lazy to solve the puzzles right now, but I'm not going to answer even guesses. Because that would defeat the purpose of having a puzzle. So someday, when you're less tired, less pulling an all-nighter, you can solve it. Customers don't buy items if all displays are full. We're done with that. Customer.town should not exist. And then also the logic I added should be cleaned up a bit. Someone said no one cracked in 8 years. That's not true. Yeah. But yeah, I started streaming in 2015 and a lot of people had solved it. And then the straw poll got removed, but it was more than 100 people who had solved them. Okay. Yeah, customer AI should be changed a bit. Also, customers should not just purchase stuff immediately. They should probably go inspect items and look at them or just wander around, I don't know, scenic locations. Not that that exists yet. It's also fell in the journal. They see you solving it in the office. You go in 2 days per week and you're like, I'm going to use this to solve puzzles. Forget about you coworkers. What did I even do today? I don't remember. I am losing steam though. Commits were, oh yeah, finished adding the cleric. Finished adding the cleric to the game. And then, yeah, worked on an assortment of tasks after that. Ask them to join, and they might like that, yeah. I think that's as close to a real life quest as you could kind of get. Someone comes up to you and they're like, I'm trying to solve a puzzle. Can you help me? You might as well just put a giant yellow exclamation mark above your head when you walk over to them. Yeah, I can do this cleanup, I think, tomorrow. I'm still torn on this stuff. Quest follow-up work. Let's see what else there is that I wanted to do for this. We could make one more character class. Where is checkpoint number 2? More adventurers. Yeah, I do want a summoner to exist at some point. I think the enemy stuff is what should be after this, though. That way there's some variation and maybe some balance. And the number of rooms should be different, too. Yeah, let's do that. Enemies. Instances shouldn't always have 3 rooms. All right, let's put this in the current iteration. Current. And can we say that it is ready? No. Hey, hashtag. You falling asleep? Yeah, I think Halter Baby's in the same case. Well, actually, Halter Baby's staying up. Okay, this one is more or less done at this point. Yeah, there was an idea that we had that was, what if you could manually move items around? So if I slow this down again, like you could drag an item from here down to the shop it needs to go into. And that way your workers would just be automating it for you. But I don't think I want to do that exactly. I guess, yeah, if you fall asleep at 4 in the morning and have to wake up for work, probably be pretty tough. But I still think some sleep is probably better than no sleep. Yeah. I do think I want customers to wander around a little bit more. Also, their disappearance should not be so abrupt. I just never did anything about that. Customers shouldn't just disappear. There are two things we could do. Option number one is we have the town like sort of looks like it extends beyond the camera boundaries and customers just walk out of view. And option number two is the customers enter and leave through a portal. I think I like option number one better. It makes more sense than just like they just teleport into your town. And I think that's what we should do. And that way they could enter from different locations as well and leave through different locations. It could be like a leave town state. In fact, maybe that's what we should do, just kind of plan for that happening. Customers shouldn't just disappear. Eventually, I'd like them to walk outside the camera boundaries. So we should probably have a leave town state that makes them do that. Yeah. Okay. And then I want one more thing for, when does this thing end? July 9th, 8 days. Yeah. I want at least another thing on here. All right, what do we do? Oh God, is it time to add saving and loading? Create the save system. Look through issues here. Either that or, yeah, choose instances, choose adventurers to hire. Make that smarter AI. This is already in progress, right? Yeah. Add the guild. Did I scrap this idea? I don't even remember what I said for leveling up. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. I think after all of this then. Oh, what's this one? Look into new enemies. I think this is done. I think this is done. The remaining work to use the new sprites, which were added, is 75. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so I think the important stuff is going to be keep the instance around even when it's done. So 161, important tasks. This is for when I do need something else to work on. 161. I mean, it's not going to make any sense to me like that, so I guess let's write it like that. What else? Use blank battle space better. Is that different? Yeah, there could be a start battle button in there. Okay, I think this is pretty important too. If you were to host your game servers, would you consider self-hosting as an option compared to cloud? I don't have game servers, so, well, I guess to be clear, game server could mean one of two things in this case. It could mean something like the multiplayer authority that you might have, and it could also mean the distribution point for your game. I am just going to be using Steam and Itch, so technically they're the only game servers I need, but this isn't a multiplayer game, so there's no need for some like central database or central game servers. If I did have a need for them, I would probably not self-host the entire thing, because then it would be subject to my home electricity and internet, and those are not reliable. And I mean, the cloud isn't 100% reliable, but it's, 99.9 or whatever percent. More nines in my home. Clamp camera boundaries, flesh that out, add in proper customer graphics. Oh, we could actually do this. Yeah, what is this? Start by putting them from this pack. Yeah, especially if I have custom adventure graphics. If I want them to lift the item above their head and have it shrink, we should also consider adding thought bubbles. Yeah, this should be pretty simple. In fact, let's put this in the current iteration. Choose iteration 6. Yeah. Feel like self-hosting has that fun to it. You can make a server browser and let people host their server however they want. Yeah, although you gotta, there are a lot of game design considerations when it comes to that sort of thing. So anytime you have, let's say there's a game and it has literally just one mode, you funnel all of the players into that mode. So if you have 100,000 players and it's a multiplayer game and that's the only way you can play, then you have 100,000 players playing this mode. As soon as you add in mode 2, you have potentially split your player base in half for either of these modes. Lack, thanks for resubbing. Welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, you split your player base, and when you say you can have custom modes, then you split your player base into any number of subsets. And for some games, that's not a problem. Like Minecraft, I don't think has a problem with that. I also don't think I just don't think it has a problem with that. But if your game relies on multiplayer, I think the more you split your player base, the harder it can be to keep those up and running. I think Hearthstone kind of had a recent problem with some of this stuff. They had a bunch of modes like duels and mercenaries and whatever else, and they've just kind of ditched them all at this point. So now they just have, I think, 3 modes in the game still. They even ditched single player. So yeah, I think there's game design. There's also the hosting requirements, but then there's development time. I think that's the other thing that can really take a hit. Hey, Carl. Oh wow, Carl, last time you were here was 4.5 years ago. Welcome back. All right, I was kind of debating on whether I should have this in my current list. Oh, hey, Freshwater Fern, welcome back. And thanks again for the raid. I think our times are kind of skewed here a little bit because you end pretty close to when I end. So I feel bad that you raid and then I'm about to leave somewhat soon thereafter. I feel like you should choose the next potential raid target. But I hope your stream went well. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, oh no. Yeah, I'm almost 3 hours in to a roughly 3-hour stream, I guess. Just ended, now you're ending. I'm wrapping up. I'm probably not going to do any more code, but I'm going to still like plan some tasks. I think I went and looked at the raid you gave me last time, and you opened up my stream, and I had like my head in my hands, and I'm like, oh my god, there's so much work to do. And I still sort of feel that way, but I'm not panicky about it, I guess. Hey Gorp, I have to ask something about Twitch and streaming platforms. There's so many bots. And what? I don't think I understand the question. We have so many bots, and we had bots with AI future on Twitch as well? I am not sure what you're asking. Anyway, Freshwater Fern, when are you releasing your game? AI like they're talking to each other? I'm still not totally sure what you're asking, but it could be totally possible that there's just AI in chat. Yeah. Is it a TVA state? You've been working on it for 4 years though, right? I've seen that before. It's probably very easy nowadays because to connect to Twitch chat is already pretty easy. To like, all you really need to do is read and send messages, right? So instead, you read a message, send it to AI, and then send the response back to chat. So it's really easy to do. It's just a question of who does this and who needs it. And typically right now this would cost some money to do, but it doesn't have to be too much. I'm in a game jam called the Decade Jam. There's a writing thing called NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And in it you write some crazy amount of words per day. How much are you supposed to write per day? You write 50,000 words in a month. Yeah. They say how many people do this? Oh, 400,000 people participate. Anyway, this is like the book writing form of game jams. And it would be kind of interesting to have a decade-long game jam. Oh, we end up with bot streaming, engaging with the chats. How long until we can tell the... Oh, I see. Twitch streaming, taking bots channel, and cheating like there are 50 people talking to each other. Yeah, I think there are two parts of that. One is there was I always forget what the name of this was, but it was like Never Stop Watching or something. It was a Seinfeld-esque show that was entirely AI. And it just went on for, well, it was supposed to go on forever, but then it got shut down for something. But there's that, which is AI produced content. And then there's the AI run chatters. And yeah, it's entirely possible that someone sets this up and makes them act kind of real. You know, maybe they don't chat for 3 minutes at a time, then they send a few messages at once. Yeah, and it would be hard to know that they're doing it, at least from a chatter point of view. You could tell probably if you're Twitch, depending on how they're connecting. Give natural organic responses, playing around with the Discord bot. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to change the fabric of quite a lot. And I think some of this stuff will be slow to happen and some won't be. Like, it's not that hard to read the captions of my stream. So I am actually reading my own captions so that when I say something like engage privacy mode, it can know to change to a different scene. So that was just me saying something and having it do the thing that I said. It's not that hard to have chat read that same thing and then start responding to me. And who knows, I could be talking to AI right now and not even know it. Yeah. So yeah, that could happen. But there was an XKCD about this a while ago, which was something about like XKCD's spammer quality. Oh, where was it? This? Yeah, this one. I'll link this in. Where is it? How do you get to that? Yeah, this. I'll link this in the chat if anyone wants to see it. But it's basically just, hey, spam might get to the point where you can't tell it apart from humans. And at that point, it's like, well, then who cares if it's human or not? If you're engaging with someone and you're happy, then fine. We could all be AI. Are you sure you're not a robot? Oh, I'm a robot. I have a robot command. All right, add in proper customer graphics. And I want to see what else was super important in this list. The save system, the setting system. No, just saves actually. Saving the game. Adventure to hire an instance. Oh man. I guess it's all just listed here. This doesn't really matter. Yeah, I'll just keep looking through it. The big question is, can we get done with enough of this stuff in July to launch this month? And I know I keep looking at this. I should just stop. We should just keep tackling tasks as we can. So these would be good follow-up tasks to have after this. After the current set of tasks, we should probably tackle saving and choosing instance stuff. Yeah. I think you could just have the chatbot act like anything. You could probably tell the chatbot, hey, pick one of these 6 personalities. And one of them could say like, you know, semi-troll with typos. I can tell you're not a robot. swear you're wrong. You're so wrong. Did you not see the clip? How good will AI be able to impersonate a touch? Humans are kind of bad at being humans online sometimes, though. And it's always like years ago, I don't think in 2015 there was just random AI in my chat. And yet sometimes there'd be messages I just couldn't understand. And I'd be like, well, English must not be their native language. I used to work on a Garbo NFT game and it had AI that chatted somewhat freely. So obviously not player chat. You're cooking over there, Chief. I say that all the time. That's my catchphrase. Yeah, I guess there was a game called Spy Party. Maybe people still play this game. I don't actually know. Oh man, how do you just mute all of... Yeah, good. It's already muted. Yeah, this game was about detecting an NPC from a player. So yeah, my understanding is it was a bunch of people at a party and you had one player who had to identify who was the human amongst all of these people. So you'd have to watch everybody very closely to see how they would act. And it sounds like a really cool concept for a game. It's just a very neat thing. I bet you could do the same thing with text and like, hey, spot the AI chatter. Anna's born a chef and the man's been cooking since birth. You're cooking over there, Chief. See? Am I a robot now? I think I might be. All right, we got a lot of stuff coming up. Oh, actually, there's one other thing I had to write down. The Windy section, the Windy interview has been cut out for now. And I think I finally got Sharon's intro in my email, so I'll have to add that here at some point. Can you do hex codes from your mind and not look them up? Or better yet, do you know conversion from binary to hex? I mean, I could probably convert from binary to hex in my head, but I'd need to compute it all. It wouldn't be like an immediate thing. And yeah, I mean, it's just math. Given long enough, I think most people can multiply or divide in their head. Is there any sense that Twitch has 75 viewers to get partnership if people can do it with bots? Oh, viewers are typically different from chatters. So viewers, I think Twitch has much better insight into whether someone is a human or a bot. Because it was never, do you have 75 people in your chat? Also, this is not even really a hard requirement, probably. And by hard, I mean rigid. You could probably just have like 1 million subscribers on YouTube and say, hey, could I get Twitch partner? And they'll probably give it to you. So there's probably a way to say like, oh, I've only got 70 viewers right now. Could I still get partnership? Remember, this stuff starts affecting money, which makes it much more impactful to a company like Amazon. They wouldn't want a bunch of random people like watching ads, for example, and giving that money then to the streamers. Plus, imagine the economy of that, right? Let's say I can have a VM running for whatever, $3 per month. And I use it to just constantly watch my stream. And then I trigger ads as often as possible. That's probably worth more than $3 per month. So if I could do this undetected, I could just spawn like however much I can afford worth of VMs and make that much in ad revenue. And it'd be like the easiest way in the world to make money. It'd be against the terms of service. Twitch would detect it. They would probably ban the account. Yeah. Yeah, actually, this is true. I went and got a haircut the other day, and the person said something like, oh, yeah, back in, just as an example, back in 2012, I did something. That was, and they paused for a really long time, and they said 12 years ago. I was like, what? Yeah, so that kind of surprised me. But I think probably most people who program can probably do multiplication and division in their head. And if I gave you something like, you know, what is 90 divided by 15, I think most people could probably be like, okay, I know what that is. We are making pretty good progress on all this stuff. There's the new character I added, the cleric. They are not in that battle. There they are. They can heal. Well, nothing has graphics for it yet, other than the fireball. Twitch would take ages to detect view botting. I think they already have systems in place though from years ago. So I don't know how much better those systems need to be exactly. A lot of the cloud platforms have IP blocks that they give out to just random customers. So that's probably a pretty good first sign is, are they one of those IPs? And then there's probably other just normal viewer behavior that happens, like moving the mouse around, and they probably detect that with JavaScript and send it to the server and try to figure out what makes a human a human. Thank you for the raid, Freshwater Fern. Yeah, I hope to drop into your stream again sometime when I end earlier than you do. Have a good dinner. Most tech places are understaffed. Yeah, I was thinking about this. Twitter, when Elon Musk first took over, which I guess we should stop calling it Twitter, right? X. Like there were tons of people laid off. There were lots of severance packages given out, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's going to self-destruct." And I don't know. It looks like from my kind of dumb outsider perspective that things are going fine. So I feel like there were a lot of tech companies that were overstaffed, and that perhaps the best case to be in, because I've seen this happen. It's really common on teams that you have more work than you do people. And when that happens, it can feel like you're understaffed, but maybe you're not actually understaffed. Maybe it's just that your charter is very large. And I think that's what a lot of tech companies ended up being in a position of. They just have a lot of work and their teams don't feel like they're large enough to do the work, but it's just that, hey, we'll just keep people occupied. Twitzer. Yeah. Yeah, so here's where we stand. Systems don't rot right away, though. It does take less people to maintain than innovate. It does, yeah. But I think there was some thought that the systems would rot pretty much immediately and that things would go offline. I mean, there's usually, for any online service, there's on-call people. And you can measure how many pages they get and how long it takes them to fix issues, and then how many people you should really have on that roster of on-call. And I think just based on what Twitter was doing and the kind of traffic they had, it seemed like things were going to blow up, but they just didn't. Rise up with viewings. I think it's okay for using it. I mean, it's pretty normal that streamers use it, or not even streamers. You can't know somebody's boosting you. I think that there are a lot of components to this. Twitch could certainly use their own bots, and there'd be no way for you to know as another viewer. I think if you see a stream with 5,000 people, you expect a certain number of them to be chatting at once. Maybe like at least 300 probably. And in this stream, I don't know what my viewer count is at any given time, but I think the average has been about 100 lately. And at that point, there's usually like maybe 5 people chatting. So if you had, let's say, 5,000 people and you had 5 people chatting, that's a pretty good sign that something is amiss there. And it doesn't necessarily mean somebody's botting. Could be that they just got rated by someone who had 5,000 viewers. And it's very unlikely that you're going to have a lot of people still chatting after about 10 minutes. What, are there periods where you have more work, like a few months in the year? You legitimately have more work? You mean like accountants typically have more work around tax time? I think then it's, I don't know. There are certainly ways to get around that. You could hire contractors. You could sort of have people on retainer. But I haven't seen that too much at the companies I've worked at. But yeah, for someone like an accountant, they just get super busy. I think they're overworked for some times of the year. Friends can't just lurk as well. They discard them, you're saying, or is this a different word? Okay, I'm assuming you mean discards. Yeah, I don't think they discard them. Yeah. How can I kick them off if I can't even see them on my chat list? Oh, you as a streamer can't do anything about it. You can't ban viewers from watching you. Even if I were to, let's say, ban everybody in chat right now, it doesn't stop you from seeing my stream. So yeah, you can't do anything about it as a streamer. I don't think you'd want to do anything about it. And I think that in some ways it could benefit you. If you pointed an extra 500 people at your stream, legitimately or illegitimately, it does raise you in the rankings. And then you become a magnet for new people who come to your channel. Now, whether or not they stay would be based on the quality of your stream at that point and, how entertaining you are to them. I think I need to wrap up, by the way. I wanted to stay on a little bit longer because Freshwater Fern had just raided. But I should go find somebody to raid. All right, this person I have not raided, I think. Let me see. I've been trying to follow everybody that I raid. Am I following this person? No, I am not. Okay, we're going to raid them. Evan Gao. I'm trying to raid most people in the software and game dev section. Followed you a long time ago. Yeah, thanks for coming back, Carl. I'll be back on Wednesday. This is not, end of the stream for a week or something like that. I'll be back on Wednesday. We're just going to keep doing kind of random stuff that helps the game. I want to try to launch the next checkpoint this month, if possible. That's like a very strong goal of mine. So just keep working on this. Yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you all on Wednesday and take care. See ya.